Chapter 6: Disgust and Surprise, Hidden Emotions. Welcome back, dear listener, to Soft Voice Psychology. Wherever you are right now, take a slow breath. Inhale softly through your nose and release through your lips. In the past chapters, we've explored powerful, familiar emotions: anger, sadness, fear, joy. These are the companions most often named, the ones we easily recognize in ourselves. But today we turn to two quiet but fascinating emotions: disgust and surprise. They may not visit us as often, yet their presence shapes much of our daily life. What we avoid, what we approach, what we remember, and even how we grow. These two emotions reveal some of the oldest instincts of our species, and also some of the most mysterious capabilities of our humanity: discernment, curiosity, and awe. Let's open the door to them and see what they have to teach. Part 1: Disgust, the guardian of boundaries. What is disgust? Disgust is one of the 6 basic universal emotions described by psychologist Paul Ekman, recognizable across cultures by that unmistakable facial expression: nose wrinkled, upper lip raised. Biologically, disgust evolved as a defense mechanism, a system for avoiding disease and decay. When early humans smelled rotten food or saw blood or waste, their bodies triggered nausea, pushing them to recoil and stay safe. In other words, disgust is the language of protection. It keeps us healthy by guiding us away from contamination. From physical to moral disgust. Over time, disgust evolved beyond biology. What began as protecting the body expanded into protecting the moral self. Now we might say that's disgusting, not only about spoiled food but about injustice, cruelty, hypocrisy. Moral disgust activates similar brain regions as physical disgust, particularly the insula, the part of the brain that helps us sense internal states. We literally feel moral disgust in our bodies, with a physical shiver or tightening of the gut. So disgust is not only about germs, it's about values. It helps us define what feels pure or contaminated physically and ethically. The wisdom and danger of disgust. Like every emotion, disgust has its wisdom and its danger. Wisdom. It teaches discernment. It protects us from harm, disease, manipulation. It defines our boundaries and supports self-respect. Danger. When unexamined, disgust can fuel prejudice and exclusion. People throughout history have described outsiders, socially, racially, or morally, as disgusting. This misuse transforms protection into division. So the challenge is to recognize disgust not as a judgment, but as a signal. It's not saying that person is bad. It's saying something here feels unsafe or dissonant. Once named, we can respond not with hostility, but with awareness and balance. Reflection practice, meeting disgust with awareness. Close your eyes if you wish. Think of a small thing that triggers mild disgust, perhaps a smell, a taste, or an unpleasant behavior you've witnessed. Notice how the body reacts. Does your stomach turn? Do your shoulders tense? Now imagine stepping back from the reaction, without judgment. Whisper to yourself, "This is my body trying to protect me. I can listen kindly." Then ask, is this disgust guiding me wisely right now, or is it narrowing my heart unnecessarily? Let your answer unfold slowly. This simple pause transforms disgust into discernment, wisdom, instead of revulsion. Part 2: Surprise, the doorway to wonder. What is surprise? Surprise lies on the opposite end of the emotional spectrum from disgust. While disgust pulls us away, surprise pulls us toward. It is the sudden widening of the eyes, the intake of breath, the jolt of attention when the world behaves differently than we expected. Surprise is triggered by novelty, contrast, or change. It lasts only a few seconds but opens a powerful window in the brain, one that can lead to learning, fear, or awe. In the flow of emotion, Surprise is the pause between reaction and understanding. The brain's response to surprise. When something unexpected happens, the brain's dopaminergic system fires, the same network involved in motivation and reward. The amygdala aligns with the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex to register the event. Is this good or bad? If pleasant, surprise turns into delight or awe. If unpleasant, it shifts into fear or shock. But even when neutral, surprise has a gift. It wakes us up. It interrupts automatic thinking, forcing us to engage, to update our models of reality. Neuroscientists sometimes call surprise a prediction error. It's the brain's way of saying, wait, something new just happened, pay attention. The shock that wakes the brain. From a biological perspective, surprise is the brain's alarm of curiosity. When something defies our expectations, our nervous system momentarily freezes, not in fear, but in attention. Neurons pause their usual rhythm and fire together, searching for an update. The brain's dopamine network lights up, the same circuitry that fuels motivation, anticipation, and pleasure. But here, dopamine isn't about reward, it's about discovery. It's the brain saying, something new just happened and I need to understand it. In that instant, the world is vivid. Colors sharpen, sounds brighten. The boundary between self and experience thins. And we learn. From infancy, surprise is one of our earliest teachers. When bobbies drop a spoon and watch it fall again and again, it is not mischief, it is research. They are testing the laws of gravity, learning consistency, predicting patterns. The pleasure isn't only in play, it's in the moment the brain whispers, I knew that would happen. So from the very start of life, surprise and learning are one. The science of prediction. Modern neuroscience describes the brain as a prediction machine. Every moment it compares what it expects to happen with what actually happens. When things align, we feel calm. When they don't, the discrepancy, a prediction error creates surprise. This prediction error system is fundamental to how we learn. Each unexpected outcome invites the mind to adjust, update, evolve. If we expected something sweet and it turns out bitter, we learn. If we believe someone will disappoint us and instead they show kindness, we learn again. Our beliefs, our habits, even our worldview are built on countless small surprises absorbed over a lifetime. Surprise, by disrupting the familiar, acts as the brain's way of saying, wake up. Surprise is curiosity. Psychologically, surprise is the engine of curiosity. Imagine you open a book and read a sentence so strange you pause. You lean in. You want to understand. That's surprise transforming into curiosity. Curiosity is sustained surprise, a willingness to wander into the unknown rather than retreat. Children live in this state constantly. Every leaf, ant, and cloud is a revelation. Their brains are wired not only to survive, but to marvel. As adults, we often lose that openness. Routine solidifies around us. We call it stability, but often it's just predictability, and predictability dulls wonder. Cultivating surprise reawakens that childlike spark. It keeps the brain flexible, the heart humble. The gift of wow. Think of moments in life that took your breath away. Standing before the ocean for the first time, hearing a live symphony soar, watching lightning split the night sky. That wordless wow is surprise elevating itself into awe, an emotional blend of astonishment and admiration. Awe is both humbling and uplifting. It reminds us of scale, that we are small yet part of something immense. Research shows awe decreases self-focus, increases generosity, and boosts overall well-being. So surprise doesn't just trigger learning, it also opens the soul. The role of gentle uncertainty. Learning requires uncertainty. Yet the human mind loves control, prediction, routine. Surprise unsettles that craving, just enough to shake it awake. Teachers know this. A lesson that shocks the student, even lightly, sticks. The contrast makes memory vivid. The unfamiliar becomes the invitation to understand. Artists sense it too. A painting that defies expectation forces the eye to look longer. A melody that breaks the expected rhythm makes us feel alive. Without small doses of uncertainty, learning stagnates. Without surprise, growth stops. Culturally shaped surprise. Culture teaches us how to respond to the unexpected. In some societies, surprise is celebrated. What an adventure! In others, it's minimized. Stay calm, keep your composure. But in all cultures, surprise is the spark of adaptation. Nations innovating after crisis, families reinventing traditions, individuals rebuilding after loss, all begin with surprise. Surprise, then, is the soil where resilience grows. The emotional spectrum of surprise. Surprise can shift quickly. If the unexpected thing is pleasant, joy or awe. If neutral, curiosity or confusion. If unpleasant, fear or anger. This fluidity is crucial. Surprise teaches flexibility. It trains our nervous system to move between emotions, to pivot gracefully rather than freeze. Emotional agility, the ability to feel a reaction, name it, and adapt, starts with surprise. Integrating surprise into daily learning. How can we live as students of surprise? 1. Welcome interruptions. When things don't go according to plan, pause before frustration arises. Ask, what is this moment showing me? 2. Practice beginner's mind. Zen teachings invite us to look at ordinary moments as if for the first time. The coffee cup, the tree outside, the person you love, see them anew and watch what stirs inside. 3. Allow small surprises daily. Take a new route to work, taste new food, listen to a stranger's story. Novelty feeds mental flexibility. 4. Reflect on unexpected lessons. Before sleep, ask, what surprised me today? Each answer keeps your brain and heart supple. 5. Use humor. Laughter is micro-surprise. The punch line, the twist, the delighted realization. Humor trains us to enjoy the unexpected. Cultural perspectives on surprise. Cultures also shape how we experience and express surprise. In some Western societies, surprise is associated with adventure and excitement, the thrill of the unknown. In collectivist cultures, surprise may be restricted in social contexts. Overt startle reactions are muted to maintain composure and harmony. In Japanese aesthetics, surprise intertwines with subtle grace. The moment a flower petal falls earlier than expected can be an exquisite form of surprise, gentle rather than shocking. Across cultures, surprise ranges from alarm to elegance, from fear to fascination, all revealing our timeless dance with the unknown. The emotional bridge between disgust and surprise. At first glance, disgust and surprise seem different. One repels, the other awakens. Yet they share the same evolutionary root, the instinct to respond quickly to unexpected change. Disgust says, this could harm you. Surprise says, this could teach you. Together, they reflect the two halves of awareness, defense and curiosity, contraction and expansion. The more we integrate them, the more complete our emotional intelligence becomes. Guided reflection, embracing the unexpected. Let's try something gentle. Close your eyes once more. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. Think of a time when something unexpected happened, something small but memorable. Maybe a plan changed suddenly. Maybe someone surprised you with kindness. Maybe life brought you a new beginning disguised as disruption. Feel what that moment stirred in your body. The racing heart, the widening eyes, the stillness afterward. Now, instead of labeling the surprise as good or bad, simply say inwardly, life revealed something new. Notice how that phrase feels. If we can meet surprise not with resistance, but with openness, Even uncertainty becomes wonder. The power of expanding awareness. Every emotion has a shadow and a gift. Disgust can create walls or boundaries. Surprise can trigger fear or awe. Yet both point toward awareness, each a threshold into wisdom. When disgust narrows, ask, what am I protecting? When surprise widens, ask, what can I learn? In this balance between contraction and expansion, we find the living pulse of emotional intelligence. So today, in soft voice psychology, we've met two emotions that guard the edges of human experience. Disgust, the protector, reminds us what to keep out, what wounds, what poisons, what dishonors our values. Surprise, the initiator, invites us to look closer, to rediscover, to wonder, to grow. Between them lies a simple truth. To live fully is to know when to guard your boundaries and when to open them. The next time disgust arises, pause before it becomes judgment. Let it inform but not divide. The next time surprise visits, resist the urge to rush to conclusions. Let it awaken curiosity instead of fear. Both emotions, in their own ways, whisper the same message. Stay awake, stay aware, stay human. Take one last slow breath. And as you exhale, feel gratitude for this vast emotional landscape you carry within, not just the emotions that roar, but also those that whisper. They are all part of the language of being alive.